Let's talk about folios, different styles of folios, and then also how to put them on what's known as a master page so that it automatically updates the page number for you. So to begin with, I want to change this. I'm noticing in this new version of InDesign, the color theme is black. So the pasteboard is black. And that's really, it bothers me because it's always been white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit, preferences, and I'm going to go to interface. And right up across the top here, there's the different color themes. So I'm going to go ahead and leave color theme as dark. That's fine. But I'm going to turn off this match pasteboard to theme color. And I'm going to hit enter. So now I've got these white areas out here in the pasteboard so that my text will show up a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Kong one as the example because it's not set up exactly the way that I would do it. So I want to do this here and show you what I'm looking at. So with a folio is normally going to contain the name of the magazine and the page number. Now it could also contain other things. You could put dates on there if you really wanted to. I don't really recommend it as much, but what you want to do is this is a designable area that can show off some of your design skills. And by area, I just meant folio. So with something like this, you can experiment with different fonts. You can try different colors. You could try adding in something that's a little bit more interesting, maybe something as subtle or as simple as a line to separate things out. That could look kind of cool. So I'm going to do no stroke. I want the weight. Round that off. Change the color a little bit. Now, with this, I don't like how it doesn't find black very easily, so I'm just going to do that and do 75%. Yeah, there we go. So I could do something like that to separate it. I could do something to make this a little bit more visually interesting, holding down Control, Shift, and then Alt at the same time. So it does something like that. I could experiment with doing some kind of color or something on here. Come in and round off these edges. Now, this is the way that you round off edges in a text frame inside of InDesign. There's this yellow button. When you click on that, that allows you to pull in those edges. So I could do something rounded if I wanted to. Extend this all the way out. I'm just experimenting. Sorry, that's my lunch timer. I'm going to turn that off. We'll be back in a second. All right, here we go. So I could do something like that. I could go in and decide maybe I'll put a stroke on there. I'm going to click on stroke, and I'm going to click this so that it's on the outside. Excellent. So on the outside of it. Make that a little bit bigger. And see what that ends up doing. It's a little harder to see here because it's on the pasteboard, but if I were to go ahead and take something like this and put it in the background, see how it's separating out a little bit. I'm going to use a crusty color. There we go. So you can start to see, wow, that stroke is way too big. So that could be a way to make the text stand out a little bit more. So there's a lot of different ways that you can experiment with the folio. In fact, if you do a search for magazine folio examples, you can start to look at some of the ones that are there. So like, for example, here, bigger page number, date, and then the name of the magazine. Got another one where it's big, circular element and the number that's inside. This one's got the page number, name of the magazine is larger, and then in italics, there's a date. Now, again, I'm emphasizing you don't have to do the date, but you shouldn't just leave it as completely plain text, because this is an area that people are going to be looking at when they're searching through for page numbers. It shouldn't be the most interesting, amazing looking part, because you don't want to draw that much attention to the page number. But going through and having something that looks a little bit more visually appealing is a good idea. Now, once you have one of these you've decided on, this is the part that's a little trickier. So watch this part. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose, I don't know, maybe I will just use this one for now. So I'm going to copy this. If it's on the pasteboard, it isn't going to matter exactly because it's going to disappear. So I don't need to necessarily get rid of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these off of here. But watch this part. This part's really important. I do not want to actually put them on this page. And the reason is if I paste them on here, come on, why is that not going away? Go away. Oh, Cameo. All right, we'll have to come back to that and figure out what the deal is, why it's not allowing me to delete a box off of here. All right, so what I'm going to do is this. We're going to go when you are ready to put your page number in. Oh my gosh. This thing is painful. All right, let me put this back over here. Okay, so right here, you're going to go to Pages. Now, so far in your document, you've got your pages that are here. There's this thing right up here that's called a master page. A master page is a template. It's a area that whatever you put on the master page will automatically show up on every single page after that. So if I come here onto this master page, like for example, and this makes no sense, but I just want to give you a visual. If I put this hot pink box on here, it automatically showed up on this other page. If I add new pages to this, click outside of this, every time I add a new page, that pink box will show up. Now, the pink box is not the best example, but it's very visual. What's better is this. If I paste my folio on here, I don't know why that one's showing up. Cameo. It's going to be my curse for the rest of this year, is just shaking my fist at the air. Cameo. All right, let me copy that, come back up here to the master page, and I'm going to paste in place, which really doesn't make a ton of sense now that I did it because it's going to go on this side. Now, I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to come back down to this page to see what it's doing. There it is. Now, here's the part that's really cool. When I make the change to that one, it'll update everywhere. But you'll notice it's putting this 206 page number there, but I don't want to have to go in and manually change that. So here's the part you're going to change. Go back up here, not on the page, but on the master page. What I'm going to do instead of having it typed on this page number, because you've got to imagine if you were laying out a book, you might have 500-600 pages. In a magazine, you might have like 150 pages. You don't want that to go in and manually have to change this each time. It doesn't seem like much now because you're only doing 4 pages, but keep in mind, most layouts are going to have way more than just 4 pages. What you're going to do instead is this. Highlight your text. I'm going to come in here under properties and I'm going to right align this one. And instead of typing a number, if I have the number highlighted, I can come up here and I can go to type. I'm going to come way down here to the bottom and I'm going to insert a special character. And I'm going to insert a marker. I'm going to choose current page number. Puts in the letter A. The reason it does letter A is it's using the A master. There's a possibility to be able to create multiple master pages, but that goes kind of beyond what we're looking at doing right now. So now watch what happens. When I come down here to page 3-4, page 4 is listed, then page 5, page 7, and so on. So then I would just come back up here to the master page, highlight everything I've done so far on that right-hand side. Now, I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to hold down the Alt key and the Shift key and then drag over. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to reverse this now. So I'm going to right align that one. I'm going to kick that one out a little further. There we go. So that now, when you look at this, you've got the page number, name of the magazine, and its mirror image over on this side. That probably needs to be moved over a little bit more. Okay. And then now, when I go to page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. Now, here's the last thing you're going to do. Now that I have the thing set up to where the folio is on the master page, if I want to change color or do anything, I can come in here and on one spot, I can change the color on this master page. And it'll automatically update on the others. The other thing that I can do is this last part. On my pages, I don't want it to start on page 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's not how these articles are going to look. A little bit more real if they're on a totally different page. Now, if you already set this up like I did in the tutorial for my recommendations on setting up pages, you already changed the page number. But if you haven't, let me know and I'll show you how to do that. So you let me know and I'll show you. I do not want your page to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want those. It's going to look unrealistic. You're going to want to change the page number. So that is how you set up a folio. So spend some time. I'm not making it a requirement for you to turn in your variations, but I would play around with making different variations. Like this is not very much. I didn't want to spend forever working on that. It's not uncommon to have 50 different ways to possibly lay this out. And then you can come back and make it look even better once you get the colors and stuff in there.